Hello, my name's Becky from So Much More. Today I'm pricking out some seedlings in my greenhouse and I thought I'd make a quick video on how I do it, because pricking out seedlings can be a really lovely, mindful thing to do, providing that you know what you're doing and you are nice and relaxed whilst doing it. The most important thing to know when pricking out seedlings is when to do it, because we really don't want to be setting ourselves extra tasks in the garden if we can possibly avoid it, particularly around this time of year in April and May when there are plenty of things to be getting on with. So the way that we recognise when a seedling is ready to be pricked out is we look out for the true leaves. Now, some plants are easy to spot the true leaves. For example, these cosmos, they have really smooth first leaves, and those first leaves, or seed leaves, botanically they're called cotyledons, are completely different to the true leaves which come out frondy. But all plants have slightly different looking seed leaves and true leaves, so it's important to spot when those true leaves are coming out. For example, in these lettuce, the true leaves are a slightly different colour and they have these slight serrations around the edge. So when a seedling has its true leaves, that's about the right time to be pricking it out. But what you want to also look out for is a full tray. So if you've sown seeds in a tray, like I have here, or in a module, and it's starting to look a little bit busy, a little bit crowded, that's a great time to prick them out as well. But I try to wait for that true leaf just to know that I'm definitely going to be alright to do it. So it's not a particularly difficult thing to do. The only thing you need to do is prepare a module tray, and you want to fill this with a really nice compost that's peat-free and organic. I recommend Dalefoot composts. They are really, really good. And then grab yourself an implement. I use a pencil, and all this does is it helps me to tease the roots out. So what we're going to do is we'll start off with these little lettuces, and we're going to just pop the pencil under one of the lettuces, holding it by its leaf, and just gradually tease it upwards. Now, the first one is always the most tricky to get. After that, you've made a bit of a dent in it and the rest tends to come out a little bit easier. But we just want to be as gentle as possible on the roots, so I'm just easing the seedling up. It's got a really nice long root. And I want to separate it out from the others around it. It's important that you hold the seedlings by the leaf, because leaves can be replaced whereas stems cannot. So if you hold it by the stem and the stem snaps, or you accidentally cause some damage to the stem, that cannot be replaced and you'll lose the entire seedling, whereas a leaf can be replaced by the plant. So once you have your seedling out and the full root system there, you're just going to pop it into a hole in your module tray, and I usually just push the roots down slightly and bury the plant, regardless of what it is, right up to that first set of seed leaves, and then do the rest. If you have any seedlings when you're pricking out that don't look 100%, they're a bit smaller than the others and the root system is smaller, you might just want to put them to one side, because if you're anything like me and you've got plenty of little seedlings, then you don't need the extras, and it's worth just choosing the ones that are in the best condition. So I'm going to put the rest of my lettuce seedlings to one side for now, so that I can show you pricking out from a module tray, because it's very, very slightly different, although still super simple and super easy. So all I'm going to do with a module tray is simply pull the entire module out, and I find it a lot easier if the soil isn't too wet at this point. And then I'm just going to slightly squeeze the soil just to break it apart. and tease the little seedlings apart. Again, I'm being careful not to handle the stems. I just want to gently ease those roots apart. There we go. Again, once you have your seedling, I'm going to make a nice big hole in the module tray and pop it in. So when you've finished pricking out your seedlings, it's vital that you give them a good drink, because this helps close up the spaces around the roots and helps the compost make contact with the roots. They might look a little bit unhappy when they first go in, but don't worry, they will perk up. Picking out seedlings is a really important part of the process of raising strong, healthy seedlings. What we do by separating them is we enable them to make their own root balls and to gather their own nutrients from the soil, and we also take out the competition from the other seedlings that they're surrounded by, which means that they can open up their leaves and they can grow much healthier and stronger. The reason that we want to sow them in trays in the first place, or in modules in clumps, is because they don't mind that competition when they're small, but when they get a little bit bigger they need that extra space, and it really helps them to grow if we've pricked them out. Then when they're big enough, we can pop them straight out into the garden and they can go and create massive, huge plants and give us loads of wonderful harvests. I hope you found this video useful. I'll be back soon with more. Take care. Bye.